Hi, my name is Fiona Bateman, and I'm the Director of the MA in Public Advocacy and Activism. I'm going to share a presentation with you now with some information and details about the programme. But if there are any other questions you have when the presentation is over, feel free to email me. My email is on the last slide. It's fiona.bateman@nuigalway.ie. So I'm going to share my screen now. And hopefully you can see that first slide. So we'll work our way through the presentation. So the most important thing about the program is that it is a multidisciplinary program, and it's based in the Houston School in the university. We provide the skills and knowledge for students to challenge inequalities in society and bring about the main thing about the course is that it provides sort of a safe space for constructive argument and contribute them to the experience of the group as a whole. And so that exchange of ideas that happens during the course is there's the lessons, lectures, the material you get from the lecturers, but there's also the kind of challenging environment that is created by having a wide variety of experiences to discuss in the class. Multidisciplinary is a term that we use in the university, which means basically that there are modules from a number of different disciplines, different academic disciplines. So we have, for example, we have modules from Soc and Pol, we have modules from film, we have marketing, we have management, there's human rights as well, and there's also sort of some modules that are specific to public advocacy and activism, interconnected knowledge, but often that is seen kind of in isolation, and you're getting to connect all of these things up and use them alongside each other. One of the things that is notable about the course as well is that there's quite a lot of practice in it. So while we have traditional academic subjects and traditional kind of approaches to academic study like essay writing, there's also other applied skills. So for example, making short films with your mobile phones, learning how to create campaigns, those kind of things. It is important also to mention that a lot of the skills that you learn during the whole experience of the year are transferable. So even if you decide you don't actually want to work in that area in the not-for-profit sector, for example, these are skills that you can bring with you to any work environment, and they will always be useful. So the kind of people who take the course, it varies a lot. It's a really interesting and diverse group of people always. Usually what the nice about it is that everybody has something in common. They really want to make a change to their immediate environment, to the larger world, to the experiences of the people around them. That diversity is really important to us. Some students will be coming straight from university, others will already be working in the sector and just want to take a bit of time out to reflect on the work they're doing, to think about it from a more theoretical perspective, and then to bring that with them back to their jobs, to apply them and to become more effective in the work that they're already doing. But it's, as I say, it's important that we have this diversity, and it's something that is it's very significant about the program. Because we have all these different experiences and different ideas, we get a bigger perspective, a number of different perspectives on any of the subjects we're talking about. And some students will come in with a background in disability rights, for example, or maybe they're into green politics and alternative energy sources, maybe they're into animal rights, maybe they're into LGBTQI plus rights. All of these different topics then are discussed, and we learn about them, and we learn about other people's experiences through them. And as I say in this slide, even arguments, I mean, it's really important. This is what universities are for. It's a place where things can be explored, where people can have different perspectives and opinions, where people can inform each other and, develop their ideas in that environment. So the structure of the course, It's 12 months, so we start at the beginning of September, and then we will go right through the year, and in August you submit your dissertation. There's two 12-week semesters which have the taught classes during them, and it's also possible to do it part-time, so you can actually spread it over 2 years, where essentially you take half of the modules 1 year and half of the modules the other year. There's also something called a Postgraduate Diploma, and that is where you do 60 credits, which of the 90, which means everything bar the dissertation. It's also a level 9, the Postgraduate Diploma. It's the same level of qualification as the MA. And it is also possible to come into the course on the Postgraduate Diploma, but then transfer into the MA if you achieve a 60% average. So there's a number of different ways of entering the course and proceeding with the course. And I can explain those to individuals if you have any questions about them. Qualifications and academic background. So second class honours degree in any discipline at all. And we have literally had people who are aviation engineers and people who are fine art graduates, alongside people who have more maybe expected backgrounds in education or in social sciences or in English or history or philosophy. So really anything at all, just that you have the experience and ability in an academic context to do the reading and to engage with the materials. A lot of students will have been involved in student volunteering or in campaigning, working for NGOs, but it's not absolutely essential. There's an opportunity in your application to write a personal statement and to make reference to anything of that nature that you think might be useful in explaining your background and what you're interested in doing the course. We'll also get quite a number of students who are already working in the sector, maybe in social care, maybe working with adults with intellectual disabilities, those kind of backgrounds. And they just want a bit of time to reflect on the work they're doing and to think about how maybe they might move it forward into a more advocacy-based role. So it's important that you do describe why you're interested in doing the programme and make reference to anything relevant that you think it would be useful for us to know when you're making your application. We don't need any references in your application, so if you want, feel free. I suppose that we want to know that why you're interested, because we want to make sure that you actually understand what the programme is about, and that's really what the personal statement is for. It's not really a test as such. And it's also important to mention that it is possible to enter the programme without actually having an undergraduate degree in special circumstances. So email me if you want more information about that. Scholarships. So all the information about scholarships is on the university website. Probably the one to draw attention to is for anybody with a first class honours degree from an EU country. You don't just have to be from NUI Galway. There's €1,500 scholarship, but there are also a number of other scholarships available for international students. All the information is on the website, so I just direct you to that website to check out that information. So modules themselves, go through all the modules. There's 4 core modules, including the dissertation, and 3 of those are that probably have the most kind of practice as part of them, and those modules are only taken by students of the MA in Public Advocacy and Activism. And then you take 3 out of the other 6, or the other 5 modules, which are called the elective modules. One of those is the placement module. So you can choose to do that, but you may decide you would prefer to take a different taught module instead. Placements are arranged with a lot of flexibility for the student and the student's skills and interests, but it may be that if you already have a part-time job or something, it's actually easier for you to take a taught module in place of that. So the Introduction to Human Rights, the Film, Politics and Colonialism, Social and Political Context of Advocacy and Activism, and Organizational Analysis and Management. You will have a little paragraph about each of these that you can have a look, and when you're registering at the beginning of the year, you get to select which modules you want to take. So all of the modules have equal credit. They're all 10 ECTS each, apart from the dissertation, which is 30 because it's the larger project. I think it's important to mention that we don't have any exams, any formal exams as part of the assessment. It's all, there's some essays, which are kind of a traditional format, but we also have presentations, we have reports, there's campaigns, maybe blog posts, reflective learning journals, projects, short films. There's lots of different formats. So there's quite a lot of different skills that are learned in the process of doing the assessment, apart from the actual material that you're learning as well at the same time. It's really important to mention, I think, how relevant this degree is, how connected it is to concerns in the wider community. All the modules use real life campaigns and examples. In most modules, you get to choose the issues that you want to study and to use in your assignments. Not all of them, but most of them. And as I said, with placements, the service learning, we try to make that appropriate and as useful as possible to each student. And this is just again to say how, you know, it is important to NUI Galway that we have this connection with the community, and student volunteering is a really big thing for our campus. And so we do our best to kind of align ourselves with that ideal. And on campus, apart from volunteering opportunities on campus and in the wider community, there are also student societies and campaigns to get involved in, and students from the programme have been involved in campaigns like the University of Sanctuary, which is now something that the university has adopted, Galway Anti-Racism Network, which has campaigns against direct provision and supports the rights of refugees and asylum seekers. Students were very involved with the repeal campaign when that was on in 2018, and also fossil fuel divestment. So there are many things going on both on campus and off campus for students to get involved and to get some experience. So obviously students always want to know what kind of career prospects there are. And I'd say, like with any MA, it's an additional degree which has to be useful, and the skills that you learn during the degree are really important, but you also need experience on the ground, volunteering with organizations and campaigns, you know, that sort of thing, that actual practice is really important as well. But students have gone into various campaigns in lobbying, campaigning, in advocacy, in education, in humanitarian roles, and some have gone on to do PhDs. And once again, to mention the transferable skills, because I think this is really important, because you may be halfway through the course and you think, actually, I'm not really sure this is for me, this is where I want to go with my career, but it's not as if it will do you any harm. You will still be learning useful and relevant skills. And these are just some of the organizations that our graduates have gone on to work with. And some of them are quite large international organizations. Some of them are national, multinational, local. Some of the ones that people work for don't have logos because they're community-based organizations. But, you know, there is work out there. Advocacy is becoming kind of a more of a catchphrase kind of than it used to be. And activism obviously is incredibly important at the moment. We've seen all the Black Lives Matter protests. We've seen the marches for housing, for various different human rights against direct provision. So it's important that, you know, our students kind of look at the world and see what's out there and find a place that they fit and that is suitable for them. And it may be that there is a need for gradual gathering of experience, you know, that you don't walk straight into your ideal job, but so the MA is part of that process in moving towards your ideal place. So I've kind of raced through that, but hopefully you've got most of the information that you need. If you have any other questions, please do email me. My email address is on that slide. It's fiona.bateman@nuigalway.ie. And if you're in Galway, I'm happy to meet you and have a chat with you. I'm happy to do Zooms, and I'm always happy to answer emails if you've got any questions. So I'll just stop sharing my screen. And so thanks very much for listening, and do get in touch if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing your applications coming in. Thank you.